Good morning, friends. It is 6:20 in the morning. I am done my workout. It kicked my butt this morning. It was a tough one, man. And I was sore from yesterday. Yesterday I did upper body and lower body. I did two different workouts. So everything hurt this morning. Today was all lower body. So I am sure by 3 o'clock I'm not going to be able to walk. But that's okay. It's all good. But yeah, it kicked my butt. There were a lot of burpees and then like fast feet. It was a lot of stuff. So feeling good though about that. Lunches are packed. I just had to pack Doug and Adam. I had enough leftovers for 2 people. And whenever that happens, Andrew was always like, give them to them. Because Andrew gets free lunch at school. The teachers get a free lunch. So he can find something there to eat, like a grilled chicken wrap or something like that. Probably not the best, but better than something else, probably. Better than going out for fast food. So he does that on days where I either don't have any, we buy those turkey breasts. That's what we use for lunch meat, those whole turkey breasts at Costco. And I don't have any of that thawed. So I have to take one of those out because it's so easy to make them a quick turkey sandwich when I don't have leftovers or something else. Because I have the buns I keep in the freezer. I make, a batch of those, freeze them, have the turkey, always have cheese. So that's pretty easy. But today he's having lunch at school. The guys have leftover pierogies and yogurt. So they'll be good. How was your workout?
Good.
Yeah.
Harder than yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I said. Mine kicked my butt today. So we just work out right in our family room. We use an app called 8Fit, and we do HIIT training, high intensity interval training. Sometimes it's a little more high intensity than others. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes we do a, what's that called? A low impact. Yeah. Other times we don't. Like today I had burpees, not low impact. So yeah, nothing fancy. We have hand weights, we have mats, we have bands. And we have a treadmill, but right now I can't use the treadmill because there's meat birds down there and they're in the way of the treadmill. They're out tomorrow. The last 5 are getting evicted tomorrow, so we'll be able to get back on the treadmill, which is good. So anyway, I just thought I would bring you along for the day. You've seen me pack their lunch a million times. That's why I didn't film it. But I will show you what I eat today. I have one little guy, my best friend, Hazy. And then I have Finn also. Finn is almost 5. He goes to preschool 3 days a week. So I usually have him like 2 or 3 times a month when his grandmom can't watch him. So I just have those guys today. I know Finn's going to want to bake, so we will probably be baking something for you. I don't know what he wants to bake yet, but that's what Finn likes to do when he comes to Joni's. He likes to bake. Today's a perfect day for that since I just have one other one. So yes, excited about that. So that's what we will do. And anything else I do while they're napping, I will definitely show you. I am bound determined to get that freezer done today. I really am.
Sure, you've been saying that for a week.
A week? 2 weeks. You can always do it.
I wouldn't do it right.
I'm working on it, babe. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
I know.
We don't have the cow yet.
Yeah, we don't have the cow yet. The cow should be coming in about a month, right? Didn't she say beginning of June?
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm excited about that. But yeah, so I want to get this. It needs to get done. Even though we don't have the cow yet, it needs to get done. The cow, I think what I'm going to do is the big upright freezer is going to be the cow and seafood. The small upright freezer is going to be chicken and pork. And then the chest freezer is going to be our homegrown chickens, our whole chickens. I need to get that emptied. I thought I had it almost emptied, and then all of a sudden, it's not almost emptied. It got really full again. So I really need to work on that. That's a great place to put those chickens, because especially if I can just put chickens. I mean, I have those freezer baskets, so I can utilize those. But we're going to have, well, we have 22 chickens right now if they all make it. I plan on giving a couple away. So we'll probably end up having about 17, and they'll be perfect for the chest freezer because I'm really not a fan of a chest freezer just because everything falls to the bottom and I never know what's in there. Even with my organization baskets and everything, I still lose stuff. So I figure the chickens will be really good in there because I know what's in there. Chickens. So that's my plan. We will see how it works out. If it works out, that will be wonderful. If it doesn't, then we just pivot and adjust. That's what we do. We don't get upset. We just pivot and adjust. But so I've chit-chatted long enough. I'm going to go clean up these dishes that I made while packing lunch. I will show you everything I eat today. I'm trying a new recipe for dinner tonight. You won't see that on this vlog because I'm trying to get back into doing my 5 meals a week. I did record Sundays, but of course forgot to show you the final result. I did not record last night's because it was pierogies I had frozen from Easter. I should have showed you, but I boiled pierogies and I cooked kielbasa, so that was really nothing. But tonight's looks really good. It is a chicken marsala orzo. Sounds delicious. So I will definitely show you that. Doug has school tonight. He has his ethics class. They have group projects. Tonight they spend the whole time working on their group project. Actually, it's a partner project, not a group project. So he has the ethics of chastity and sexuality. That's his topic. So, which is actually kind of good because that's one of the talks that we do when we do our pre-Cana class, is we do the sexuality talk. So, not sex talk, sexuality. There's a difference. So, it's kind of good that he has that because he has some experience with that. But anyway, it is supposed to, oh my gosh, it poured this morning. It was supposed to pour all day yesterday and it didn't. But man, this morning, like somewhere around 4 o'clock, it was downpouring. So I'm not sure. I'm going to double check the weather, see if we're still supposed to have rain all day. Won't be able to take the kids out because everything is soaking wet. So we will be stuck inside today. So that'll be a perfect day to bake with Finny. Okay, I'm out of here. I got to go get a shower and straighten up this kitchen. Here's our little girls. They better be girls. Good morning, ladies. Breakfast this morning is a breakfast sandwich, a homemade bagel for 8 points, 2 slices of Canadian bacon for 1 point, 1/4 ounce of cheese for 1 point, an egg for 0, and some blackberries. 8 points total and 438 calories. For our sugar cookies, we're going to mix flour, baking powder, and salt together. I will have this recipe linked below so you can get all the measurements. We're going to mix that together and set it aside. And in our stand mixer, we're going to mix together sugar and butter until it's light and fluffy. And we're going to add in 1 egg and 1 egg yolk and vanilla extract and mix until combined. Then we're going to add in our flour mixture and we're going to mix that until the flour is combined with the butter. Once that's done, I'm going to use my medium scoop. The recipe calls for a large scoop, but we're using a medium scoop to make dough balls. We're going to roll those balls in granulated sugar, put them on a cookie sheet. And once we get all of our dough balls on that cookie sheet, we're going to use the bottom of a measuring cup or a bottom of a glass, whatever you have that's flat, press them down and bake them for about 14 minutes at 350. Okay, starting on our granola, you saw Finn crushing up some pecans. We're going to add some sugar, some pecans, some oats, some flour in our bowl and give that a quick stir. Oops, Finn got a little excited stirring there. Then we're going to add in 2 egg whites, some water, and some avocado oil. The great thing about this recipe, you can tailor it however you want. Whatever kind of oil you want to use, whatever kind of nuts you want to use, whatever kind of extract you want to use. We used pecans and vanilla extract this time. We also added in some salt, and now we're going to give this a really good stir. We want everything coated with that oil because that's what's going to give us our crunch. Once we have it all combined nicely, we're going to lay it out onto a parchment-lined sheet pan. Put it in a nice layer. Make sure it's pretty even. And then once you get it spread out, I like to press it down a little bit because that's what's going to give you those clusters. You can break them apart once it's done if they're too big, but you just don't want it crumbly. So I'm just going to press that down. We're going to bake it at 300 degrees for 20 minutes. Take it out, turn it over, bake it for another 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and dried out. You want the edges just to be golden brown, but you don't want it to burn. So here I'm just breaking it up a little bit, and there it is. And then I'm going to add in my dry fruit. We're using dried cranberries this time. Oh, no, I was showing you that it's still a little bit soft, and you have to let it sit for it to crunch up. And there it is, nice and crunchy. I forgot to add the dried fruit when it was on the pan, so I just added it. I poured this back into a bowl, added the dried fruit, and then put it back in the jar. While my little guys are eating lunch, I decided to treat myself to a London Fog latte. So in here, I have a cup of strong brewed Earl Grey tea and a little bit of honey. And to that, I'm just gonna add about a half a cup of milk. And then I'm going to use my immersion blender and blend it up. So the immersion blender just gets a nice froth on it and gets everything well combined. Just going to put it back in my mug. There's still a little bit left in there. And then I'm going to top it with just a little bit of dried lavender. And I am going to enjoy this while sitting at the table with my guys, chatting. Okay, we got one sleeping and one doing his quiet time. He's a little too old to nap right now because then he doesn't go to bed at night. So he has quiet time. He's allowed to pick a show and he lays on the couch and he watches his shows. So he's watching Mickey Mouse. And I'm going to clean up our mess from our cookies and our granola. And I just got the best text. Do you remember a month ago, I helped to host a baby shower? Well, the baby was born today, this morning. So I'm so excited to have another great nephew. So excited. Lunch today is a picky plate. I have a cup of watermelon, a half a cup of strawberries, a cup of cucumbers. I have 22 ounces of, or 22 grams of kielbasa and with sauerkraut, and a half an ounce of mixed nuts. This is 5 points for lunch. I want to get some sourdough sandwich bread made tomorrow to gift to someone. So I pulled out my starter from the fridge this morning, let it get up to room temp, and now I'm just going to feed it. And here is our chicken marsala orzo. And we're also having a side salad with it. Okay, finishing up my night. It's 8 o'clock. I decided to pack everybody's lunch tonight as much as I could, just to save me time in the morning. So Adam and Doug are having leftovers. So they both have a thing of leftovers. Adam has strawberries, Doug has watermelon. They both have yogurt, and Doug has some salad that was left. Andrew's gonna have tuna, and I had not quite enough mayonnaise. So we're gonna just whip up some mayonnaise real quick. 1 egg, a squirt of Dijon mustard, a cup of avocado oil, a little bit of salt. And I'm too lazy to run downstairs and get lemon juice. So we're just gonna use a little bit of vinegar. And then I have 2 quarts of whey. from the yogurt I made yesterday. So I'm gonna throw in a tablespoon of whey. What that does is it ferments the mayonnaise and it makes it last longer. Not that we need it to last long in this house because we go through this mayonnaise in no time. Put my blender in. Bad angle with my cord here, hold on. And that's it, all done. Have mayonnaise. Now I did notice that with the whey, it doesn't get quite as thick, but it's thick enough for us. I don't use it all the time. If I have it, I use it. Sometimes I keep the whey to put in smoothies or mix with Adam's protein. Sometimes I just give it right to the chickens. Just depends on my mood, to be honest with you. So there's our mayonnaise. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to finish off Andrew's tuna, and then we're going to get some bread started. Okay, in our stand mixer, I have 500 grams of lukewarm water. And to that, I'm going to add 100 grams of sourdough starter. Adam just came in. He was out playing basketball with friends. And he heard the grain mill going. And he's like, "You're milling flour at 8:39 at night?" I said, "Yeah, I decided to try out a new bread recipe." He said, "Mom, only you. Everybody else is going to bed. You're trying out a recipe." And he's not wrong. Okay, so we've got 100 grams of sourdough starter, 500 grams of water, and now we are going to add our 900 grams of fresh milled flour. We are going to mix this until it is combined. Okay, that is looking good. It's all combined. Now we are going to cover it and let it sit for 30 minutes. So when you are doing fresh milled flour, the texture is different and you have to let it, it's called autolyze or autolyse. You need to let the liquid soak into the flour to soften the flour. So that is what we're doing right now. We're gonna let it sit for at least 30 minutes and then we'll add the rest of our stuff. We'll knead it and then we're gonna let it rise overnight. Well, so much for, well, Doug's not home, so I might as well play in the kitchen. He got home early from school. So tonight was the night they were working on their group projects. Okay, this has been sitting for over 30 minutes. And now I'm just gonna add in 50 grams of olive oil and then 50 grams of honey. Always measure your oil first, and then your honey just slips right out. And then we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of salt. It was a little nice that Doug came home early because he did all the nighttime chicken chores for me. So that was kind of him. Okay, everything's in. We are going to knead our dough for at least 10 minutes. Okay, still watching the Phillies game. They need to end this. My dough is done kneading. Ooh. So I just divided it in half. And now I'm just going to roll it into a loaf shape. I am not sure how this is going to turn out. This is a new recipe for me, like I said. And even though I've been milling flour for a while now, it's still, I think, temperamental sometimes, especially when you throw in sourdough. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Looks like it's gonna split though. And we're just gonna get it in our pans. It is very sticky. I will admit that. Oh, game's over. Phil's win. So my goal every night is to be in bed by 10 o'clock. It is 9:55, friends. I think I'm going to make it. In bed by 10, asleep by 10:15. I have enough time to read my saint book, say my prayers, maybe play the mini crossword, and then lights out. Because 5 a.m. comes early. Huh? Doug said too early. But if we don't get up and exercise at 5, it won't get done. So that's what we do. And I apologize for the TV on in the background. Okay.
Pretty extraordinary. You know you're throwing strikes when you're putting those kind of ratios together. And again, no walks, which was so big for him. All right, so the Bills, 2.5 out now behind the New York Mets. The Mets have just got
Okie dokie, friends. We will see.
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Like I said, first time making this recipe. And let me tell you, I said to Doug, if somebody was making this recipe and was not well versed, it wasn't the clearest recipe the way it was written. So now we're just going to cover this. Trying to decide if I want to cover it with plastic wrap instead of this. I'm just afraid it's going to dry out because it is an overnight. I think we'll do plastic wrap. It is an overnight rise and it can dry out if it's just covered with a cloth because so much air gets in. So I think we will do the plastic wrap. I'm going to spray the plastic wrap with a little avocado oil. Just in case we get a good rise. That way it won't stick. And there we go. We'll see what it looks like in the morning. Well, friends, that is it. That is my day. I'll put the points and calories on the screen. What I end it with. I will, maybe after this, I'm not sure, we'll see. I will throw in a little clip about the bread to see what happens tomorrow with it. Like I said, new recipe. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll give it a try. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching. And I will link that cookie recipe down in the description box below, as well as the granola recipe. And that's it. I will catch you guys in my next video. You want to say goodnight?
Okay.
I'm
tired.
I know, I'm tired too. See you guys next time. Jumping back on to show you the bread rose beautifully. It's getting ready to go in the oven right now. So if I can, I will try to give you a finish shot. And there they are out of the pan. They look pretty good. But you know, the real taste or the real proof is in the taste. So they'll have to cool for a couple hours before we slice them up. But I don't know, they look pretty good to me. So friends, that is really it now. I will catch you in the next video.